Hey everybody, it's Bust. Continue our playthrough of the Path of Champions. Today, we're going to be tackling the one-star quest, the Might of Demacia. We'll be doing battle up against Garen, doing battles with our 2-star Bard. And so to give you a quick overview of our champion, Bard is up to 2 stars, so we get the +1 starting mana. When you draw a card with a chime on it, you put a chime in your deck, and then when you summon an ally with buff stats, you give it a random keyword. Champion level up to 17, so he's pretty hardy. He's pretty high up in the champion levels as we're making this video. And then in terms of the relics, I like to start with ways to interact as soon as the units come down. A 4-cost champion that doesn't do anything is, a big investment to put on the board. And so when he comes down, strikes the strongest enemy and also refills our spell mana, it makes up for some of that lost tempo. So with that out of the way, let's hit the play adventure button, get on to battle. If we can get in here, not Galio today. Maybe tomorrow. Today, we are battling Garen. All right, the path has been set. Let's see what turns up. And so, as we always say with Bard, I'm not super interested in things that affect the late game. This 5-power Trifarian Might should be okay, but we're usually looking for things that let us either cheat on mana or slow down our opponents. And so something like gain a mana gem, something like sorcery to refill your spell mana every turn, or the ones that like frostbite and stun your opponents every turn. You have the fantastic late game just naturally with Bard, but Trifarian Might should be okay. These other ones, you could actually look to pick up the Sting Officer. He's just a little bit off theme, and I think I really like the power that comes from the 5-power units striking. Your birds already start with 4 attack, so if you can hit a single chime on a bird, puts you in a spot to where you can strike down an opponent's unit for 1 mana. All right, not pulling off that combo just yet, but it's something powerful we can do. All right, not super interested in the Bandle Commando. We'll just go ahead and get Esmuth down. Not running into too many problems here. We're just not winning this one quickly. That's what you'll have when your Cosmic Bindings and many morphs all show up in your hand. But ideally, he'll play a unit. We'll get to strike it down with Bard. This is kind of the big idea that we're trying to pull off with our Bard. He comes down, interacts with something, and we aren't just putting down a small selection of stats. That should be enough to do it. We could have probably open attacked and just won the game, but there's no reason to drag it on if he has some kind of interactivity in hand. Okay, again, so the post-battle thing, we're looking for either cheap units or some kind of interactivity. None of that exists here, so let's give this a reroll. Go Hard is interactive. I guess it does summon a unit. It's just kind of weak. I could see an argument for picking up Rummage just to cycle away some of our expensive stuff, but let's play with Go Hard. It's not going to be that fantastic in this deck. It's just too slow, but I could envision some kind of nice Bard mid-rangey style deck with Go Hards with a bunch of card draw in it, since the card draw helps you draw more copies of Go Hard and then also helps you activate your chimes. I don't think we'll get that deck together today. We're just going to be too fast, and these games are going to be too easy to pull that off, but it's a nice late game thing to kind of keep in mind. Now over here, we already have the Trifarian Might power. It's pretty easy to pick up these Trifarians and LeBlanc and Thorn of the Rose. They both have the 5 attack. All right, and then I don't want to go to the spells chest. I'm just going to head to the healer so we can cut the Mini-Morph out of our deck. So we'll come over here, do battle with the Omen Hawk. So at round start, grant the top unit of the foe's deck +1 attack. Let's get to it. All right, not a ton of early game. I'm curious if we should just like hang on to a 3. Since we can just go ahead and play it next turn. Maybe that's okay. Really just mainly interested in picking up the 1-drops. This LeBlanc is huge. I didn't even realize she had a Phage attached to her. I just picked her up because of her 5 attack. I guess 7 is better than 5, and so she's really nailing it from there. Get wrecked, Omen Hawk. Get our LeBlanc flipped in no time. I don't think we can lethal this turn. Alright, well, let's just go ahead and add Bard. He's going to refill the spell mana, and then we could potentially Bloody Business after that. Doesn't look like it's going to come together. Man, this set of LeBlanc cards was just like really set up for what our deck is trying to do. This is a fantastic collection of things. Being able to play Bard, get the 3 mana, and then Bloody Business if we have a large enough unit on board. Pretty strong. Just gonna bring it. Just so you know we have it, game. Cool. I suspect this open will be enough. We got him. Omen Hawk dispatched.
Another rose for the garden.
Okay, so yeah, when it comes to the healer, it can be kind of tough. Here, we'll just pick up the 2-cost unit because it's cheap. But the thing with Bard is he's like really limited in interactivity, and so Cosmic Binding and Minimorph are pretty important in a lot of your trials. But this one here, I feel like after we've already picked up Go Hard, we've picked up Bloody Business, they're fairly safe to go ahead and take out of our deck, and I'll just go ahead and take the expensive one out in Minimorph. Okay, on to the raiding party. What's this? At the round end, if the foe dealt damage to the player's nexus this round, deal 1 to the player's weakest unit. Incoming warning shots, am I right? I was like, he's never going to deal damage to us, but it's like, I guess he could play Parlay or Warning Shot or something. That'll certainly get us. Alright, reasonable enough hand. And then another thing you can look to say in terms of adding the, or I should say removing the cards from your deck is it does make your Bard a little bit stronger. Right? It's not something that you really need to focus on. You don't need to go out of your way to cut cards from your deck just because that'll reduce the size and your chimes will be a little bit more dense, but it is an advantage. You know, if we can cut 6 cards out of our deck across the full trial, then that's certainly a respectable number of cards to stop and think about.
I whisper truth into lies.
All right. Looks like you're about to get boomed, Wolf Rider.
Smoke and mirrors.
Easy peasy.
Another rose for the garden.
Okay. All right, so let's see. Something good here at the end. Captain Farron, are we going to cast some 8-cost units? Unlikely. I'll just pick up the Decisive Maneuver. Well, maybe we take the Tellstones. It's a little bit cheaper. We can play the Tellstones just for an item if we want to. And so, in terms of the cards here, it's a shop or the Smooth Soloist. Smooth Soloist lets us get a new power, and so we'll just go for the power here. The Hold Them Off is one I was talking about at the beginning, as to where this is a very strong defensive, and it's really good at slowing down your opponents. I think that's what we'll still take here. Nature's Revenge is quite strong as well, but this is one of the kind of premier defensive powers. I think it's going to do us some good. Also now lets us come in and just say cut the Cosmic Binding out of our deck. All right, on to Ash. So, round start. If the foe has the attack token, they Frostbite our weakest unit. I ain't scared. You bring me no worries, Ash. All right, we'll hang on to a 2 and a 3. Oh, we'll get everything else away. There's the bird. Where you been, my dude? We'll wait and see if we can't pick some chimes up for you. We won't just throw you down on this first turn. LeBlanc ready to just come down and slay some Omen Hawks.
Time to make an appearance.
Poor guy. You didn't even have a shot. Alright, not bad, not bad. No chimes yet. I still have a dream that this bird is going to get leveled up, but I don't think that dream is going to come through.
I am everywhere. I am everyone.
Nice LeBlanc flip. We'll get bird down. Should be good for an open kill. I mean, there is a chance that they're going to have a like a frostbite or something. Maybe we still just add cards just in case.
So good to see you, dear. I ran the risk of getting
Okay, just got Ash. I appreciate the emotes, my dude, but it's not quite enough.
It was inevitable.
All right, get wrecked, Ash. So what do we got? I still want to stack the bards with this. When I'm summoned, double my power and health. I think that works with Bard in terms of leveling him up, but I'm just going to go with the elusive. I mean, it shouldn't matter, but I want to stack in the more copies of Bard. That is the important one. What do we got here? Round start rally. Beautiful. Not passing up on that. This one is Dunsies. Laurent Bladekeeper. I don't remember what he is. Let's look him up real quick. All right, I got him pulled up on the site. Add a weapon to your deck with a random rare item. And so this will let you pick up things like the LeBlanc sword. There's a variety of different weapons. I think that's a reasonable one to go after. Otherwise, it's just a healer to take more cards out of our deck. And I think our deck is probably thinned up enough at this point. So let's go to the Riven Sword one. Not guaranteed to be a Riven Sword, but that's the kind of item that lives there. All right, then the Unscarred Reaver. All of their units have +1 health. It's unfortunately for them not enough to not enough to survive a Trifarian strike. Ew, this is kind of a crappy start, though. Gonna have anything to do here in the early game. Not gonna be dropping go-hards onto, onto the Unscarred Reaver.
Time to make an appeal.
We'll drop a 7-attack strike, though. Don't mind if I do.
Broken mirrors. Destruction feeds my fire.
Get boomed. Oh, it strikes the weakest one? Dang. I guess that makes sense. I was thinking in my head, I didn't say anything about it. I was like, this is kind of a cool interaction to where we're just going to kill their strongest unit every turn. But I didn't realize it struck the weakest one. But mirror image, as I say, mirror image should be enough to clear out the game. I didn't quite piece together that the strike was going to kill our unit, but we still had 13 on board. Easy.
One step closer.
All right, we want any of this stuff? Yordle Smith's cheap, you know? My requirements are high. Welcome to the deck, my dude. On to the weapons. I mean, the Thorned Blade, it's not very good, but it is particularly on theme. I think you almost always just go with the Blade of the Exile, though. Also granting out an epic item whenever we play it. Not bad. Not a bad way to spend a mana. Okay, on to the shop. We have tons of money. So let's see. Allies have +1 attack. That sounds great. Do we want any of these cards? Probably not. They're all very expensive. Maybe if we reroll... Oh, I meant to reroll the power, but I have the option. All right, whatever. Okay. Either a spells chest or the Rekindler. The Rekindler lets you buy revives. We're definitely not going to need that, so we'll go up north here and fight the Battlesmith. When the foe summons an elite, grant it +1 attack. All right. I ain't scared, my dude. I ain't scared. What do we got? We'll hang on to the Yordle Smith. Make sure we have a 2-drop. Mulligan for a 3. Didn't find one, but I think we'll be okay.
I'll write my own story. Voices carry. Speak.
All right, not taking damage. Get that thought out of your head. The Yordle Smith is fine here. He's good for an open attack. Oh, he's huge now. A little unfortunate he didn't get any of those strikes. I was trying to think in my head, it's like, how willing am I just to pass to see if we can get him? You know, just pass and then follow up with the Thorn of the Rose because they played a unit. Not sure. Not sure if you're able to do that. He just sends it back to us. It feels kind of bad.
Let's make this a night to remember.
Who approaches?
So we didn't really need to stun there. All right, both of our dudes picked up Fearsome. That's kind of odd. All right. Should be good to finish this one off. Got him. All right, Garen, we're coming for you. We're ready. We're ready for this final battle. So what do we got here? More birds? Okay. Absolutely. Bird is one of the cards that I'll add in an infinite number of copies. It's so just incredibly strong. These cards here all suck. We have a free reroll, though. Want any of this? Probably not. I could see an argument for an Event Horizon just because it's a good interactive, but we have plenty of interactivity at this point. We could even come in here and just cut more cards if we want to. Any of this, like Bloody Business, could go. I'd say the weakest is probably the Babbling Balladeers. Well, I don't know. I haven't found a spot where we want to actually cast Go Hard, so it can go. So now, round start at the foe has the attack token, grant the foe's units +1 attack. I bet we kill all of your units to where it never matters. It's just so easy. Our collection of cards were just so good this run. All right. Not even gonna mulligan for the cheap ones. We don't need it, Garen. You're too weak today.
I'm listening.
Tough was a nice addition. Give us that free attack on the first turn. Just play your Garen. I'll let you do it. You can cheat him into play. I'll show you what happens with our strikes.
I sculpt what others only dream of. Spare no detail.
See, this is the spot to where I'm like, can we just pass? Right? If we just pass and then opponent spends all their mana on a unit and we kill it with the strike and then win. Let's see if we can do it. Like if we're playing against humans, it would be just so obvious what we were about to do, and that was what I was worried about. Right? He's just like, I guess I'm gonna pass too, and you don't get anything done. All right. I guess we'll play it as it's meant to be. Kill off this dumb, and then we'll be good to attack. All right, so easy game. Not a very challenging run, you tend to find anyways if you're taking a 2-star champion on a 1-star quest. But we did get to pick up some interesting things there. I like the idea of the Trifarian Might. That was a super lucky pick in the champion pack to where we hit the LeBlanc, but I think the idea there is still kind of good as to where you can come in, stack up birds, and then try and use bird as your means to get those 5 attack strikes. It just gives you that interactivity that this deck is really lacking, and it was going to give us some real power there. But at the end of the day, we finished it off pretty easily, got a pretty good time, and that is going to do it. And so I hope everyone enjoyed the video, you learned a thing or two along the way, and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.